class?
I am Nathan Porter, and I think we are talking about AP Pre Calculus.
So why do you think students should be excited to take this class?
Couple reasons. One is in terms of looking ahead to college, it's just a good course for college prep. You know what I mean? It's one of those where you can feel good about taking it. It's going to be challenging, and you're going to benefit from it in the years ahead. And the second reason is it does come with an opportunity for college credit. Like any other AP class, that depends on where you apply and what scores they take, and it's always, it's never a certainty as to how that's going to play out. But the nice thing with AP Pre-Calc is, it doesn't require you to get to calculus, and it has that option that it could result in kind of lightening the load in terms of credits at the college level.
Great. So what is the format and agenda of a typical class?
It usually rotates in kind of 2-day cycles, sometimes 3. The first day of a learning target is usually more teacher-led, where we just kind of get on the same page in terms of what the learning target is and what students are going to be expected to do. And we'll see a few problems and kind of work through some stuff as a large group. And then the second day is usually more small group, independent, which involves students kind of working through some problems more on their own, to kind of see how they do and take in terms of like the stuff that we covered together, and how they can apply it to different situations, and to see how they can do. It doesn't like always follow that, but again, if it's a bigger learning target, you might have like 2 days where we are more teacher-led, but there's always a follow-up to whatever we do together in terms of students kind of practicing problems on their own.
So a follow-up to that, how much homework load is there in a typical week?
It depends on what rate students are working through it. With what I assign, I aim for an average of like 30 minutes a day, keeping in mind every other day students would get usually an entire class period to kind of lighten the load. So when you factor that in, I don't know, half hour every other day is kind of what I have in mind. That's the goal. Again, it's the first year that we've offered AP Pre-Calc, so I'm still getting some student feedback to see in terms of the assignments I'm putting together and what I'm assigning. If that's, am I on the mark in terms of what I'm assigning,
And so what's the format for academic achievements or summative assignments?
Yeah, it's, it could change a little bit in the spring if I decide to add a project, but being the first year, I kept things pretty simple. That the achievement category is just in-class paper and pencil tests, all of them worth 25 points. I've kept it really simple. They all carry the same point value, and we usually take about 5 or 6, but it would I think it would fit students' expectations in terms of their previous math class. Like, okay, for the most part, if we're putting, an assessment in that achievement category, it's happening in class, independent, right? Paper and pencil, test that's going to cover progress on whatever. It's usually like assessments are, I think probably, one of the more significant things is like frequency, that we usually have one of those every 4 learning targets, sometimes every 5, usually in that range.
All right, cool. And then what does it take for a student to be successful in this class and then like the AP exam?
Yeah, it doesn't matter like what their motive is. It could be a transcript thing. It could be an engagement in the content, if they're a math person and they know that's where they're headed, but it does require, just with the level of math that you're getting to, some kind of motivation, some kind of investment that you're willing to make. So far, the only students I've had that have really struggled, you could just tell that, the willingness to put forth an effort in the AP math class just wasn't there, and that could be for a variety of reasons, and everybody's situation is kind of different. But as long as you're willing to come to the course, willing to do the work, right? Because it's like, AP Pre-Calc, an advanced placement class that's, a math course. I mean, students can already tell, there's probably just an inevitable amount of work that's going to have to go into a course like that. And from what I've seen so far, if a student brings an attitude that they're willing to put in that work, they'll be successful.
All right, any other thoughts?
Just that it's, we're in year one, right? And it's not just year one to Orono, it's year one for the College Board, for everywhere. It's a brand new class. We've never had the opportunity for an AP exam. And the potential for college credit for students that didn't make it all the way to calculus, which is kind of cool. It's kind of a neat thing to have, but so far so good. It's been kind of an interesting experience, and of course, like inevitably, you're kind of learning on the fly a little bit that, it's new to everybody, but it's been really good, and I think the students who are taking the course are enjoying it, and yeah, just each year, I think the course is going to get better and better, and it's off to a great start, and I'm excited for what's to come.
All right, I think that's